All right, and we are now live. Hi, I am Kira858, and today we're here for episode 10 of Lords of Faerun. As always, we want to give a huge thank you to the love and support we've received for the channel. This is a passion project, and the positive feedback we receive from viewers and fans of life has made this an incredible experience. So thank you all so much for coming by and watching our stream. We truly appreciate it, and we hope that you enjoy the session that we have prepared for today. So first, we would like to get to our sponsors. We are proud to say that Lords of Faerun is officially sponsored by Die Hard Dice. Die Hard Dice is an incredible company that produces gorgeous dice and dice-associated items such as dice scrolls, dice trays, dice bags, and more. Recently, Die Hard Dice has collaborated with the Opera Geek, but the Avalora Aria dice is now sold out. However, you can still get the Project Dice Enchanted Condenser set, also by the Opera Geek. They've also recently released their prior product, which includes the gorgeous Horizon Dire D20. Many of their prior items are sold out, so head on over to Die Hard Dice and use the promo code Faerun, that is Faerun, to get a discount off your purchase. Time to level up your dice. Lords of Faerun is also partnered with Idle Champions. Idle Champions is one of the biggest D&D games around, and if you hit !code in chat, you will receive a code for a free Electrum chest. This chest provides free premium content to help accelerate your progress in the game, so enjoy. And if you like our show and would like to support us, Lords of Faerun has a Patreon. All of the funds sent to our Patreon goes directly to the cast, and the Patreon offers exclusive content like after shows, podcasts, Patreon exclusive Discord channels, and even bonus episodes. Once we reach a certain goal, we will shoot our next bonus episode, but more so, the next bonus episode will be determined by our Patreon members. A poll will be generated with ideas of pairings and circumstances, and the winner of that poll will be our next bonus episode. I can't wait to see what our Patreon members choose, and this is just another way of saying thank you for supporting us. So your contribution has helped us as content creators, and if you're not able to contribute financially but still would like to support us, liking us, retweeting, and getting the word out already does so much. It truly does make a major difference, and we appreciate all you've done from the channel. So with that said, it's time to introduce our cast, starting of course with the wonderful Eliza. If Eliza, you'd like to talk about yourself and the projects that you're currently working on.
Hello, sure. I'm Eliza Pearl. I am DMing this adventure with this wonderful table of players. And I also run a monthly Klingon Star Trek Adventures campaign called Blood of the Void. And that's on the Twitch channel Q Times. Our next game is Monday, the 30th of August. And that's at 6:30 p.m. Pacific on Mondays. And then what else? I run private games too. So if you ever want to hire me to run a private game, go to my Ko-fi. So KOFI dot something. I actually don't even know. Is it KO-FI too? Maybe. I don't know. Just search Ko-fi, KOFI, Eliza Pearl, and you can see my commissions list for games.
You're awesome. You're awesome.
I'm jet lagged, okay? I don't remember anything right now.
Completely understandable. It reminded me of Josephine and her usual announcements. You're like, and there's something else there. It's awesome. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Of course, we have every positive word in the dictionary. Diana, if you'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and of course, your project that you're working on.
Hi, I'm Diana. I'm Super Dylan everywhere on the internet. Find all of the stuff I do on TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, in the tabletop sphere by looking for Super Dylan. I am playing Elliot on today's stream, who is a character I've come to love very, very much. I have a couple of cool things coming up starting next month. On September 14th, look out for a big fundraiser for the Trans Lifeline, a game of Changeling featuring Gabe, James Games, Ginny D, and Abria Iyengar. And I am going to have them escape the hedge or try to. So I am very excited about that. And the following Tuesday, September 21st, we are going to start our adventure in the Amory Wars universe, which is the universe that all of Coed and Cambria's music takes place in. So if you like space, come see us there. The lovely Glyza will be in that campaign. So please come show up, I'm sure, for more secrets. No secrets. No secrets. So yeah, that's it.
Fantastic. Making our way down, we have, of course, the fantastic Ree. Ree, would like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on.
Hello, everyone. I am at Big Dude Ree on the socials. I am playing the silver-tongued bard Avis Naquani, who has absolutely no problems with anyone or anything, and it's fine. And I'm also playing Archers on Rivenwood, so you should definitely come and watch us navigate through the perils of school and not get in trouble. And we do have another project coming for you all to enjoy very soon. And I can't wait for you all to learn more about that. But I don't believe we're ready for it just yet. So keep your eyes open for that as well.
NDA. We'll make our way downtown. We're going to be, of course, bringing in the fantastic Glyza. Glyza, you'd like to talk about yourself and your projects you're working on and who you're playing.
Hi, I'm Glyza, better known as someone who says boundaries are important and we should all learn to draw them. The projects that I'm currently working on involve a podcast called Classical Adventures for One, where I explore classical books with a little bit of drama and a whole lot of trivia. This season is launching in September. Hopefully, I'm working on it. Hopefully, it will be. But it'll be focusing on Agatha Christie, and I'm also a part of a lot of TTRPG games, which you can see by visiting my link, bio.link/classical Glyza. But today I will be playing Helena, our cowardly elf with a secret. Her past has apparently caught up with her and have put everyone around her that she cares about in danger. The thing that probably surprises her the most is that she didn't realize she actually cared that much. Maybe she isn't so cowardly after all. But she is going to encourage any detours to her destiny as much as possible. So it's a weird situation that Helena is in.
Yes. It'll be very interesting to see what unfolds from that endeavor. Of course, and we have the wonderful Aries. Aries, you would like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and project you're working on?
Hey guys, I am Aries, or Adrian, as some of you might know me, and I am playing Jesse Diaz on this wonderful program here, the lovable Azamar Island Boy month. And super looking forward to getting into it today. And yeah, you can find me a lot on twitch.tv/The Bear Pen, where a number of the people here are actually in a couple of our shows, which is really, really great. Actually, tomorrow, Ree will be on one of the epilogues of Blood on the Bayou, which is going to be a heck of a lot of fun. So we do have a Patreon you can jump to if you want to get early access to that. And then the following weekend, we actually have a very special epilogue featuring Cynthia Marie and Melee Damage and Glyza and Cassidy in a very special Bahari episode, which is going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, we do have the epilogue after that, which is going to be Kira's wonderful epilogue with Brandy. You might see Brandy in some of our things on she's in City of Mist, which we have on Mondays, as well as is Kira, which is a great game. So if you guys have not played City of Mist, I would highly recommend it. And yeah, you can follow me on all the socials at the Adrian Bear. And I'm just really happy that we are playing D&D again today.
Yes, it felt weird being on vacation. I was, having a birthday that just came by, of course, and other events. It felt interesting, felt good, but I definitely was missing this. I'm glad I'm back. And of course, as for yours truly, I am Kira858. Of course, have Lords of Faerun here. We have, as Ree mentioned, Riverwood Academy, which is on Tuesdays, which is a young adult Harry Potter type D&D campaign. So if you love magical schools and see how high school life transitions, the CW, you would definitely love this campaign. We definitely also have some special projects coming in the near future, featuring individuals you all may recognize, as well as some you don't. Some of them, I will leave this hint. One of the projects that will be coming in, I will be DMing. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. With that, again, I'm super excited about that. I cannot wait to bring that forward, because D&D will never be the same after that madness. So with that said, we're going to bring you our intro video for episode 10 of Lords of Faerun.
Latreo, Avis, Jesse, Helena, Ice, Elliot, Aliza as DM, Lords of Faerun.
All right, and we are now back. So with that said, Lisa, take it away.
In the last session, which we played 2 weeks ago instead of one, you all got a lot done. You all began to head north with Spencer and with Shireen, Latrea's sister. You met Latrea's mom, and they had a very heartfelt reunion with both Nerphilia, his mom, and his dad, Gibran. You had a dinner and spent the night at Nerphilia's and Gibran's home, which is a beautiful cavern, ornately, beautifully decorated. You also were able to have someone prestidigitate Jesse's scroll and read what was in that goat tube. And you found out some things about a group called the Zentarum, which is AKA the Black Network, a spy organization that is hell-bent on making sure that non-humanoids do not interfere in human life on the continent of Faerun. And you also, with Spencer's unknowing help and with a tip from grandmother in the sky, a storm giant turned thundercloud, you followed Spencer to a site that he had previously been scouting to the north, and you uncovered a spy's den. So these 4 spies, you at first began to battle, and then you overpowered them very quickly, and they spilled the goods on what they were there for. They were there to uncover information from the giants, the storm giants, and also other giant clans and types of giants on the Great Glacier. You also recovered some items that had been stolen from certain clans of giants. And so now, being very tired after a very eventful day, you all are now back at Nerphilia's cavern. You've had a restful night, a restful morning. You did take a long rest, and you've had your first meal of the day. You are gathered around in the cavern, just kind of recollecting what your next steps are and looking at these items that you recovered that you hadn't inspected because you were so tired last night.
So wait, have we eaten yet or have we not eaten yet? Because that's the key difference that was going to determine what you're going to do.
Yeah, you have eaten.
Okay.
But if you still, of course, knowing our Latria, your caloric needs,
Yes.
there is still food nearby.
Okay. So I think from the wisdom saving throw that he rolled, Latreia is going to essentially grab some food from off of the table and kind of like eat in one hand and then kind of like expect the items in the other. So he has one hand is like filled with like grease stains and crumbs as he's just like chowing down whatever's in his mouth, and he's just moving.
It's what's in your mouth are buttered and jammed rolls, freshly made.
Oh yeah, and
Nerphelius sees that you have refilled that same hand with more rolls, and she saw how much you liked them during the breakfast. So she and Gibran come out of the kitchen with more rolls and more jam and more butter, and they set them on the table. We thought you might like to just keep munching on these for the rest of the day. So there you go, son.
Thank you. So I could take this to go?
Yes, of course. And anything else you might need?
There's like a genuine smile, like a really warm smile on his face, which has almost rarely been seen ever by people who have seen him before. And he looks up and says, "Wow, I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss this. But I'll be back."
Gibran looks at you and says, "Well, you'll come back and visit us, won't you? I mean, we'll be here. We're not going anywhere. Now you know where to find us."
He nods. He says, "Definitely. I have a lot of things to make up for. A lot of to hear about. And I feel like some of the individuals around here, it kind of looks outside of the cave at that notion. I'm kind of concerned of what happened from before. And just want to make sure that that doesn't happen again."
Nerphilia says, "You let us know how we can help."
He nods. And then from there, he just grabs another muffin and just, like I said, he has no table manners at all. So literally, there's just like crumbs from the cheeks all the way down his chin. And, and he doesn't wipe them away. He's just like, okay, this is normal. And he just starts to dig through some of the items that's there just to see if anything.
Elliot sees Latreia like shoveling things into his mouth and like picking things up and looking at them with the other hand. It's just like, "Latreia, please do make sure that you only put the rolls in your mouth. Please be careful eating while handling precious items."
He looks at the items just to make sure that there's nothing that's small enough that could fit within his mouth. And as he takes a double take, he looks back to Elliot and gives the Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator 2 thumbs up and says, "Yep, I think I could do that."
Just looking out for you. Okay.
He smiles. He said, "Oh, I appreciate it." And then he looks over and he says, "Well, maybe that could have gotten to the mouth. I think you might have saw like a ring or something like that." That probably could have gone inside.
So these items, I forget if we established who gathered them. Maybe we didn't, but that's okay. But you brought them back in a big sack. And so, yes, you can see that there are some bulkier items towards the bottom of the sack, but towards the top, if you just were to reach in and grab something, then that first thing probably would be one of the smaller items. And so we can say that you pulled out what looks like a dragon's claw that's covered in molten silver. And it has the worm rune or the dragon rune on it. And this is what you've been turning over and inspecting as you stuff your mouth with the other hand.
Does the claw look of a specific lineage? We'll turn towards the others and be like, does anyone know what this lineage or what claw this?
I am not there right now.
I it's possible. Could I try to roll maybe history on it or religion? What do
Yeah.
you think?
Let's see.
What
I
makes more
think-
sense?
I think you could roll history on it. Yeah.
Okay.
I too would like to try and look at it and see would nature make sense just to see what kind of dragon it
dragon?
might be? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of pull in over Latrea's shoulder to look closer, and I rolled a 14 for history.
For history? Okay.
And I roll a 17 for nature.
Okay. So, Elliot, with your history check, you would know that this is in fact a magical item. It's wondrous. It's rare, and it is a very powerful item. You've never probably seen one, but you would know just from having done a little bit of adventuring and seeing other and hearing of other magical items that this has a few different abilities. It usually can be used either as a weapon or as a shield or as a ward. So it's kind of a multi-purpose magical item with very much a lot of power to it. And Helena,
Okay.
Helena, with your, was it a nature check? Yeah.
Yeah, nature check to
You rolled a
know
17.
more about 17.
So it's covered in molten silver, so you can't really see like what color dragon it may have been. From the shape and size, you probably could narrow it down to either a white or a silver dragon.
I don't know much about the powers that it has, Latreia, but it is definitely either a silver or a white dragon from what I'm seeing, from what I can see. But I can't be 100% sure just because of the silver that's covering it.
How long is it by chance? A claw, presuming, was about like the size of his hand, or does it feel like a dagger, or what?
It's probably like 10 inches long, and it's the claw. So like, let's see, how many digits does a dragon have? Let's say 3 digits, and it's like the claw of that whole connected 3 digits.
He nods. He looks down as he says, "Well, this might do us some good. The dragon rune, do I recognize it by chance? Do I have a feeling of what this may perform or give?"
Yeah, you would probably recognize, as a storm giant yourself, having had a little bit of training before you left. You probably, just like a little kid learns ABCs and what the sun and the clouds, those symbols mean, you probably would recognize the worm rune. Yeah.
So you say, so this is definitely associated with runic magic for a dragon. I'm not really sure what it does, but I guess we could keep an eye out and perhaps see if maybe this could be used. He kind of looks at Helena and Avis and says, this is more of the perhaps dagger variety, if this would be of interest to you.
I can tell you what it does.
What's that?
What did you say, Avis?
I could just tell you what it does, unless you all prefer the mystery of it.
No, he says, I'll slide this forward. He says, I am, as you can tell, not the smartest tool in the shed. So if you can, I will definitely hand this over to you so you can see what this may do. Because if you leave it to me, we will be here for a very long time.
Helena is interested in knowing whether she can wield it or not, and that's all that matters to her at the moment. So she's looking at Avis expectantly.
I would like to take 10 minutes to play a song and cast Identify virtually on the item.
Lovely. You do that. Tell us about this song.
It is a very kind of soft, almost imperceptible. It's almost kind of like the sound of what the wind would be like as it was kind of passing through trees, and it kind of focuses itself around the item in question for a moment as he just kind of sits there and focuses while staring at it.
How many
After a moment,
times can you cast that?
I cast it ritually as often as I like.
Great, because there are other items too. I'm like, So you play these magical notes float from your instrument and float around the item, and some truths and some facts start to reveal themselves to you about the item. And I'm sending to you in chat what those details are.
I see. So this is what it is. How curious. It is a, I believe you'll call it the Claw of the Worm Ruin. It is, you can use it to be very anti-dragon. You can use it to protect you against certain dragons' breath weapons, from what I understand. And you can use it to place an area of protection in front of you. Not technically a weapon in the sense that you would not use it to beat on something with it, but it can be used to help weaken dragons for another attack. So I am afraid it may not be to what you desire, Helena.
As soon as Avis has said all of these things, she's lost interest and went back to the bag and just sort of like looked for another thing. She's like,
yeah,
and just walked away.
Okay.
Just dug into it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you dig back into the bag.
Yeah, just to see if there's something as well there that I could use. Basically, she's like, whatever. I don't like that one.
Yeah, same. I'm still kind of also looking around.
Yeah, I think three of us are.
Everyone's like, okay,
everyone's like,
we get it.
Whatever. Turns away.
Okay, so Helena, you reach into the bag and you pull out a triangular item. This fits in the palm of your hands. It's about 3 inches on each side. And it's looks like a opalescent hewn polished stone, kind of like pearlescent in color.
Looks pretty. I'm going to roll maybe I guess history? That's my history. Yeah, I'm gonna roll history just to see if I know anything about this or,
Okay.
That is a 13.
Okay. With your 13, you rolled, I'm sorry, history?
Yes.
Okay. You, once again, even just without the roll, you know that these are all items that were recovered from giants. And you have a feeling that just because of the like opalescence to it, and the fact that it's from giants and the region that it was recovered from, you have a feeling that it is something that could give you like resistance to cold damage or immunity to cold damage, something that's protective as one of its properties. And again, these are all magical items that you all would kind of sense that from looking at them and touching them.
She doesn't bother Avis with asking what it is. She just puts it down and looks for another thing. She's like, no.
Okay.
But you can, for others now.
Okay. Is anyone else reaching in
yes.
to the bag?
Latrell is looking more for like a sword, like something of the slicing, stabbing, chopping variety that says giant on it.
You lean over into this bag and you look through, and there's not much left in there. And sure enough, you see something at the bottom, dark, bulky, heavy looking, and you pull down, reach onto it from its handle. You pull out a great axe.
Oh. Oh.
This great axe has beautiful carvings on it, just like ornate. They don't seem to like look like it doesn't look like runes or text. It just looks like beautiful, fanciful, ornate carvings on it. It is highly polished. It is gleaming. It's gorgeous.
Okay. He looks at the others. I think I'm done. And then he stands up and then he hands his over to Avis. He says, Avis, can you sing that song again to see what this is? How does music talk to you like that? I don't understand how that works.
Just no problem at all. Music has music tells the story of the world. You just have to know how to listen.
Avis, you sing your song, and it tells you this wondrous story about this history of this axe. And if you'd like to tell what the song tells you, or I can. But we have to sing it. I'm just kidding. I'm only half kidding. If you want to sing it, you can. That would be very fun. But you don't have to.
Say, well, I can tell you this is an item of immense history to frost giants. It is a very complicated item, to be honest. My understanding of history isn't perfect, but it was used by a great hero at one point in time. It can modify its size for someone with a bit larger abilities. But it is meant for, it does a lot of damage, to be blunt. And it can be very bright. It also makes things very cold and makes other things very cold. I can tell you this is a very prominent weapon to you and your ilk. I would take very, very good care of it.
He looks at the handle and kind of like places his palm across the edge. And even though he knows that this comes from a frost giant variety, he looks at it, he says, I'm going to show you the right way. And then he looks up over at Avis and says, thank you. This one, I think, I'm going to give it a right home, give it its proper home. One day I would like to hear that story when we have time, just of who this individual is, just so I can see that not all frost giants are bad.
Okay,
Very
I'm sending.
careful.
Oh, sorry. Sending this to the player, not the character, Kira.
Okay. Could you send it to me via Discord? Because I can't really see the message in the.
Done.
Thank you.
Okay, so who is reaching into the bag next?
I am. I will likely ignore any weaponry in there. I'm pretty happy with what I've got damage wise, but I am looking for doodads. I'm looking for thingamabobs, and I will pull out whatever thingamabob I find.
You do find a thingamabob, and you look in the bag, and there's really just one item left, and it looks like a warhammer, but it's in the shape of a judge's gavel, which
So
you realize
Is it like that kind of size?
nope, it's big. It has giants.
Okay.
So warhammer size gavel shape. And it's made of this dark polished wood. You do definitely sense that it has magical properties. It's very beautiful. It almost has like a dark red rosiness to the wood grain.
Right.
And you turn it over in your hands and just get a good look at it.
Do I or can I roll to try to sense something of it myself before I just hand it over to Avis?
Absolutely.
Nature, religion, history. What do you feel? What do you think?
I would even say Arcana.
Arcana. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
History
all right.
or Arcana.
Okay. Well, that's another 14.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, just gathering your adventuring knowledge, you inspect this, and you notice that there's a rune on it at the base of the handle. You feel that this has some type of ritualistic purpose, this gavel. But you also sense that there is some potential shielding possibilities with it.
Oh. Avis.
Yeah.
It's strange. I don't usually carry things like this, but something tells me this might actually be what I'm looking for. Does this rune make sense to you? Or can you make sense of it?
Not entirely. I may take a moment for me to look into it, if you don't mind.
Please.
We'll cast it again.
Okay, so you sing your song again, you play your song again, and the truth about this item reveals itself to you through the song. Oops, I sent it to the wrong person. Sorry.
You've gained the knowledge.
There you go.
You've gained the secret knowledge suddenly.
Kira, that was secret knowledge.
Well, I can't even see it, so it doesn't even...
Oh, yeah, true. Okay.
You sent it to the perfect person because, like, I can't view chat. Oh, that's funny.
Okay. So, yes, the truth of this wooden gavel starts to reveal itself to you. And sure enough, you also pick up on these shielding properties, and then also a couple of other really interesting properties as well.
I can tell you that this isn't so much as a weapon, or it is more of an object of peace. It will ensure that people, at least at the beginning of battle, will hesitate before wishing to do you harm. It will be of great use to you, and it will also allow you to encourage people to not quite attack initially. And it can be quite painful for people to defy you in that. And should you desire it, you can transfer the item to an area. But I do warn you, should you decide to do so, that it will destroy the item in the process. So use that part sparingly. But I think it will serve you quite nicely.
This is perfect. Thank you, Avis, for checking it out. Can't believe I'm going to carry this thing. All right. Great.
Out of curiosity, how big is the claw and how big is the little triangle thing?
The claw, the dragon's claw, is about 10 inches long.
Okay.
And the opal, I'm sorry, it's a triangular. I might have like described it two ways. It is triangular, but it's made of opal, so it's like that pearlescent quality to it.
Right.
It shines. But it's triangular and it's about 3 inches on each side.
Okay, so Helena, seeing that there's nothing else in there that she can use, she just grabs the triangular opal and is like, maybe Jesse would like this because he's cold a lot. Because knowing that it might be something that would be resistant, so she puts it in her pocket to keep in mind to give it to Jesse later. And she's looking at the dragon thing. And she's like, and then just puts it in her pocket too.
Okay, so you put these in your pocket. As the player, I'm going to send you the info on these. That's the opal there, and then the claw. Perfect. And Shireen Shireen and Spencer come up to you all and see the various items that you've had in your hands and are pocketing. And Spencer says, I hope you all found some things that will be of use to Yimra and maybe yourselves, I guess, too. Yes, was it good stuff? Was it good?
Latreo smirks. He says, "Oh, there is some fantastic items."
Oh.
I think she's going to be in for a treat when she sees what we've discovered.
That's good to hear. I like to keep my mistress happy. Maybe I'll get a little bonus, some extra little treats for old Spencer.
He smirks. He says, "By the way, we will have to warn her about what we came across, just so that she's aware of."
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Must. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, we should tell her about. You mean the spies that were?
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
really terrible.
Yes. Well, I'm good. He kind of places the axe across his back next to his greatsword, scoops up all of the rolls of deliciousness that his mother created, and says, so our next goal was to head up north, correct? We were going to see if we could find a place for our dragons to reside. Right. Or do we want to drop this off first before heading up there?
It might be wise to drop it off first.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Where's Jesse?
Yeah, where is Jesse?
Yes. So we're going to cut over to Jesse. Where do we find Jesse this afternoon?
Well, this morning sometime when it started getting, just before it started getting light outside, I went outside the sort of cave entrance, sort of out more into the areas where we've got like the ice and the snow. And I started going through a series of very slow movements, which are kind of calisthenic in nature or slightly, very, very acrobatic in nature, but very slow, like lots of handstands and stuff. And I made sure to take off the boots and take off like the fur cloak and everything, because I've got the ring now, and I am starting to go through the series of meditative practices and motions, focusing on my breathing and really getting it in tune with myself. But there's a lot of things have been going on, and a lot of these questions have been coming up for people of family, of ancestry, of protection, of leadership and connection, and all these kinds of things. And for my whole life, I've been the kind of person where I just get a feeling, I get told to go somewhere, but I've been given to understand that what I am, Azmar, they have occasionally guides that will try and speak to them and communicate with them in a more direct way. So I am embracing the feeling of the cold, even though I am resistant to it, and I am meditating and blocking things out and trying to connect with myself inside to see if I can connect with this voice, with this force that's been pushing me forward my whole life, that's never actually spoken to me directly.
And are these things that you've ever shared with anyone in the party or with Jackson?
Probably. I've definitely spoken to ask before about how sometimes just get these feelings or things that feels like it's something that I need to do, or I've been pushed in a certain direction that I just need to go here. But so I think I've shared some of this before with people, but I've never really tried as hard to connect on this level before.
Okay.
And specifically at this point in time, because he's thinking about family and connections and community and such, and the dragons and his own family and Veshanthar. And he is thinking about what it is that he is supposed to be doing right now, because we have a direction here for at least some of our dragon kin. And he knows that there is possible danger around the corner for his people relating to the Sahwati. So he is focusing on that thought and trying to connect to this divine God of his.
Okay. So, as you're doing these meditating movements and really like trying to tap into hearing that voice and thinking about all of these relations and family and responsibilities, you hear towards the kind of main opening to the cavern where the dragons are relaxing a loud whisper. Does he do that all the time? And you hear, shh, he's trying to have some time to himself. Can't you just let him meditate in peace? Why do you have to be so loud, Treebush? I'm whispering. This isn't loud. And you hear the other dragons start to kind of like, shut up, God, come on. Just let him. You hear a bit of a commotion over where the dragons are.
Jesse will smile, but continue his breathing practice and keep on going.
Jackson comes over to you, leaving the group behind, and kind of like doesn't actually say anything to you, just stands about 20 feet away from you with his back and tail to you, and opens his wings and kind of creates like a private space for you, blocking you from the view of the other dragons.
I think at this point in time, because these movements and he holds these poses quite long, and sometimes he will be in like a one-handed handstand kind of thing, really moving his body into interesting positions. So he's probably sweating quite a bit at this point in time, and he will try to acknowledging that Jackson is there without saying any words, but he is going to attempt to start kind of going through the movements by like closing his eyes and just trying to really block everything out.
And Jackson looks over his wing and just kind of sees your slight, acknowledgement, and just nods and then looks back towards the rest of the group and just maintains this barrier for you. Okay. So you all spend your afternoon in these various ways, inspecting the items, eating rolls, practicing meditation, and communing with inner spiritual guidance. What is the next plan? What does the rest of your day look like?
I think we were planning on heading over to Yimra to deliver the magic items that we found and warn her of, the Xanathar and that upcoming threat.
Helena plays around with the opal, sort of like, plays around with it and realizes that maybe she will keep it after all, just because of like what she discovers as she plays around with it. And then she's like, Well, Jesse doesn't need to know that this. I'll just give him the claw. It'll be fine. And then just like, because she plays around with the opal and discovers that it can do some certain things that she didn't realize it could before. She just thought that it was just a resistance thing, but it's not after all. So she's like, this'll be good for me right now. I think it'll be fine. He can have the dragon thing. So that's basically what she decided as she plays around with these two weapons or these two things.
Go ahead and roll a d6.
Okay.
DM question now.
Mhm.
During Jesse's meditations, does he manage to make any connection or hear anything at all?
Well, we can roll to see if he does.
Okay.
So we'll cut back to that in a second.
I rolled a 3.
Okay. You, as you're playing around with this, you kind of hold it up and try to like lash it around and do cool stuff with it, and nothing happens. But then when you kind of with a twist of your wrist in the direction of the hearth, just by chance, the hearth goes out. The fire goes out in the hearth.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And okay.
Basically, she keeps trying to repeat that action, but like aiming it onto non-living things just to see she can do stuff with it. You know, that's like she keeps doing different things just to see if she could recreate that and find out like what, you know, it can do.
You then it reignites the hearth just by doing that same action with the flick of your wrist. You ignite some other things by mistake. There's a bag of greens by a doorway that you ignite, and Gibran, when he sees you do that, he's like, "Oh no! What? How did that happen?"
My cabbages.
Yes, my cabbages.
It's okay. It's like fried stuff. I'm teaching you, like it's a new way of eating greens.
I was gonna sell those to all the storm giants at the market. Fine. It's fine.
I'm sorry. Do you need me to help you gather some more? I'm sorry.
I can grow things really quickly. It's fine.
Okay,
It's
cool.
all right, young lass. It's fine.
Thank you. And I will try not to aim this anywhere near your greens. Thank you very much.
Please don't burn down the whole place too while you're at it.
She basically goes out of is it a cave? A house?
Yeah, they're large cavern. Yeah.
So she goes out
It's
of
a
the
house.
cavern.
Their house.
She goes out of the cavern and just sort of like plays around and sees if she could like fireball something out like in different places because she realizes she's like, this is fantastic.
There are some like dead tree branches and things like that outside, but there's mostly just like snow and ice. So you're able to send heat energy and melt some ice, set some branches on fire. You also, by the way, right outside of the storm giant's home is that I've been describing almost like an opening or a courtyard, and that's where the dragons have been hanging out. And then past that, about 40-ish feet past that, is where Jesse is meditating. So when you're in that first courtyard, the dragons are all there, and they see you playing now with this small item in your hand and setting small branches on fire and melting ice and things. Treebush comes over to you and says, "What are you doing?"
I found this opal thing, and I think it'll help me control fire. I think, from what I'm able to see with it.
Wow.
Point to something, I'll set it on fire. Do you want to fly around and set stuff on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go do that.
Okay.
Guys, we're just gonna go learn stuff. She shouts into the cavern, and then, Rise Treebush. It's not gonna be a long trip. Just basically like a quick, roundabout of like with Treebush probably going set that one on fire, and then I would, And then
Great.
knowing that I can like turn it off quickly, I would also like, before it becomes like a big, like big fire, she would also like turn it off quickly, that kind of thing. But definitely Treebush and I will be setting stuff on fire is what we're going to be doing for about like 10 minutes.
All right, great. So that's what, yes, you all, you climb onto Treebush's back and take off to set things on fire and then extinguish them.
Yes.
And in the meantime, we continue back over to Jesse's now more private area of meditation with his dragon's companions back to him, creating this this second wall of dragon wing to give his friends some privacy. And go ahead and roll first roll a d6 for me.
Okay.
Sorry, Zoom chat.
That's a 2.
Okay, so the pose you mentioned, the one-handed handstand, that's the one that you're in right now. And I want you to go ahead and roll religion.
Could I make a case for insight? Like insight on myself? Because I'm trying to connect with something that's in me.
Yeah, you're okay. Yeah. Describe to me again what exactly you're trying to connect to.
So, as Amara, are all supposed to have some kind of like guiding divine spirit. Usually, it's some kind of angel or something like that that relates to the deity that they are connected to. But Jesse's never really heard from his. He only gets like these intuitions and these nudges. So he's trying to focus in on himself on that point of connection there to see if he can actually hear someone or find out some information or get some guidance from them.
Okay. So in your meditative state, go ahead and roll your insight and we'll see how deeply you can go.
That was out of the box. Very nice. 26.
Whew, that's very deep. You slip into this meditative state in this one-handed handstand, and you kind of just zone out, and you go further and further until you're almost in a dreamlike state. And even though your eyes have slipped closed, you can see the landscape around you, but just in kind of like softer gray and silver tones rather than the bright white of the snow and the ice reflection. In these softer gray and silver sparkling tones around you, you see the boulders, you see the ice sheets around the horizon, the valleys and depths of ice on the Great Glacier upside down from your view. And someone starts to kind of gently step towards you, and you see their boots. Their boots look like they are laden with armor, but there's a lightness to both the boot and the step. And you recognize that lightness, even though you've never seen this person before or their boots or their feet. Someone like innately familiar to you. And you, from your view, you look up. Well, up at them, down, down to their head because you're upside down. And you see in this silvery, gorgeous armor, an Aasimar being whose skin is this gray, silver, purple, translucent color. Seems like she's floating on the wind. Her broad wings opened up behind her. She looks down at your face. I've been waiting for you. What took you so long?
I don't know. It's Just looking for the right port in the storm, I guess.
The
It's
lost
nice.
one.
It's nice to finally come face to face with you.
I've been calling you the lost one.
I can't imagine why.
I'm sure you can't. Well, what is it you seek?
I think right now some guidance on my beliefs and things. I have found these people that are my family. And a lot of them seem like fractured inside themselves, disconnected. And it got me thinking about my own family, where I was raised in Vishanthar, or at least the family that was given to me. And all these different pieces going on in the world, I'm not really sure what I should be focusing on right now. I don't know if I should bring my attention back to Vishanthar, whatever threat might be lying there with the Sahuagin. I don't know if I need to carry on where we are right here with my kin, the dragons. A big part of me is worried about Avis because he's pretends like he's okay, but every time anything comes up, he's gone, and I've been letting it slide because it's his business. But I'm worried about a lot of them. To be honest, seeing the trailer with his mom and his family got me thinking again about myself. Like I am the last one, you know. I don't know where I came from. I don't know anything about me aside from, well, growing up and my life. But I mean, the bigger part of it, I don't have that connection to whatever legacy there might be out there for me. So I guess that's what's on my mind.
All good questions. You already know that there are immense threats to your family and to your friends. They need you, and you need them to face them. Beyond those threats, which threaten you all as individuals, but this entire world, there is a greater purpose for you to find in time. But it's not time yet.
Okay. I guess I'll just keep on going then. Moving like the ocean. Do you have a name I could call you?
Alasha,
It's good to finally meet you, Alasha.
you will not remain lost, lost one. And she fades away from you and out of your view. The world returns from those gray silver tones to white, and you find yourself sweating, balancing on one hand upside down.
I think first thing that's going to happen is that Jesse's going to lose his balance and fall face first into the snow or the ice thing.
And when you fall, Jackson turns and says, "Oh, are you all right? What happened?"
Oof. Well, aside from getting a big bump in my head right now, yeah, I'm all right. I think I just met someone for the first time that I've known my whole life. Never spoke to him before. I think you'd like her. She's real pretty.
Jackson kind of brushes some snow off of you where you fell. Tell me more. And we're actually going to take a break now.
Oh, okay.
And when we return, continuing with the rest of your adventures in this storm giant land.
All right. Wow, that was fantastic. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and take a nice 10 to 15 minute break. Thank you all once again for coming by and watching our stream. If you'd like to talk about the campaign, we have our Discord, which you can follow us in chat below. We have a section for spoilers as well as not spoilers. We also have a fan art section as well as other criteria. So we would love to have you join us. And like I said, we'll be back for the second half of Lords of Faerun. See you soon. And here we go. All right. And we are back for the second half of Lords of Faerun, episode 10. With that said, Aliza, take it away.
So, you all are preparing to go on the next step of your journey, which, from what I gather, was back to Ymra's cavern to present her with some items and see if there are trades to be made or not. Now, before we leave, Elliot, what are you up to?
So, after I affix this new gavel to my pack, and I see that, Elliot is examining things and Helena is lighting fires and everybody's kind of scattered around. I'm going to look, are either of Latreya's parents around?
You're in the main room?
Yeah.
Then yes, they are. Mm-hmm.
I kind of wander over and sorry, I kind of skipped out on our dinner and to go check on my friend, and we didn't really get to properly meet very well. I just wanted to officially make your acquaintance. My name is Elliot, and I consider Latreya a brother. It was quite a big deal for him to come back here. And I worry that it might be a big deal as well for him to leave again. I'm wondering if there's anything that we could, bring with us to stay connected. Is there something like that, a family item, or a spell even? I don't know. I'm grasping at straws. I just feel like leaving might be tough. And I, want us to be at the top of our game out there, of course.
Nerphilia thinks for a second, and before she can speak, Gibran actually speaks up. He stands up he was actually growing some new greens out of a pot. And he stands up from it and he says, actually, there is something that we could part with. Give it back to Latreia. And Nerphilia looks at him and says, what do you mean give back to him? And Gibran says, well, there was something that we found in the woods with that ogre once we tracked him down. I'll be right back. And he goes to one of the back rooms of the cavern, and Nerphilia looks after him, puzzled. I don't know what he could mean, to be honest.
Oh, whatever it is, I have a good feeling. I think it'll mean something,
Well, I hope so. Gibran enters the room again, and he's holding what looks like a folded piece of cloth. And Nerphilia sees it, and she gasps. Oh my God. Oh. Gibran approaches you and holds this cloth in front of you and Nerphilia. And you see that it actually has some streaks of what looks like dried blood. But you can see in this like rich, deep reds and purples and blues of this woven textile, there are runes. There's just like these, once again, these beautiful like storm giant patterns woven into it. And it's a really beautiful cloth. He opens it up and you see that it's about the size of something you would wrap a baby in.
Right. It's like a swaddle. Yeah.
And Nerphilia starts to cry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Gibran, how could you hide that from me all these years? And Gibran says, I'm so sorry. I didn't want you to see it covered in his blood. Or whoever's blood this is, I'm not even sure. But you should take it. You should give it to him.
Yeah, yes. I think this is good. This is just the thing. Thank you. And I'm sorry. I did not.
Nerphilia just hugs you. She comes
okay.
over. She's like, it's okay. You don't have to apologize. If it weren't for you, I never would have seen that silly rag.
I just love him.
I love him
and
too.
I
You're like a
also.
son to me now.
I go, okay, thanks, Mom. I indulge in the cry a little bit, and then just like
the rest of you in the room see this and are like,
over there. Okay,
yeah, you're probably in different parts of the room. It's a very large, front room of their home.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you're nearby, you would hear sobbing and then see Elliot and Nerphilia hugging and just like happy crying onto each other.
I finish hugging and I pull away and I give a little like head nod and a shoulder tap. I take the blanket and thank you. And as I walk away, I like wipe away the tears and sniff, and then walk towards Latreia. Latreia, this is yours. You should have it. It's it'll be a good keepsake until we could get back here, just so that we can on our journey. Here you go. This is yours.
You see us walking in, and he hears Elliot, you're right. It sounds like you've got a bit of cold or something. Your voice got a lot deeper. So
I have allergies. Actually,
Oh,
snow
right.
snow
No
environments. I have allergies in cold environments. It's nothing.
Helena also walks in covered in suit. Just be like, hey.
And then Elliot will hand off the blanket to Latreia and be like, Helena, can I, hi, well, you look, let me help you. Dusting her off to change the subject.
Latreia will grab the blanket or the cloth, looks up at Elliot, and before he steps forward, he kind of like try to reach out his hand to like grab on his shoulder, and then he gives like a really like warm squeeze as he stares at the blanket before turning back to Elliot and says, "Thank you." And he kind of like lets his hands go, and then he just kind of like folds the blanket in his hands because he recalls this thing being like, covering his entire body. This was part of his garment. And as he looks at the blood streaks on it, like this cloth is now just a small little piece within his hand. And he just stares at it for a second and then folds it up. And then he looks at his amulet and he kind of like wraps it around his amulet as like keeps it nice and snug. And he grabs it tight and says, "This is good. This is good." And then from there, I think he's going to head over to, now he knows where what the crying was based off of. He's going to go over to the Philia, his mom, his mother, and just give her just a giant embrace. Just make sure.
Mhm.
It says, "I'll see you soon." Oh.
All right, son. We look forward to your coming and visiting us some more. Don't be a stranger.
Never. I promise I'll be back more than how often Shireen comes back. And he kind of like sticks out his tongue at Shireen.
Shireen sticks her tongue back out. You were always the favorite anyway.
What? Yeah. Why? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Whatever. And then he go over it. He definitely heads over and gives Sharita a big hug as well. Just be like, thanks. Thank you for being there.
Yeah, it was fun adventuring with your friends.
Yeah. It's been an adventure, that's for sure. But I will be back. Look after everything while I'm gone.
Yeah, of course.
And he once again grabs the amulet on his side. And he like almost like reflexively just keeps it there. You know how like when I'm not sure if other people have this issue, but when you have like trash in your hand and and even though there's like trash cans that you walk past, you still just hold it in your hand for like the entire time. You're just like, why am I still holding on to this thing for like 15 minutes straight? This is kind of like, it's not like that feeling, of course, because it's not trash, but he just keeps his hands there and not even realizing that he's holding it there for support. Subconsciously, he's just grabbing onto it as he returns to his group.
Okay.
Helena says, "No need to worry, guys. All of the fire is out. But there was some fires, but don't worry. They're all out."
Did you just create a new river?
No. There was no new river.
Good.
Just a lot of fires that were put out almost immediately. Almost immediately.
There was a new river. He just shakes his head. He says, "This landscape is going to be so much different when we come back." And so, yeah, he'll look over to Elliot and the others and says, "Is everyone ready?"
Yes, I definitely am.
Oh, Helena hands Adrian. This is for you. The weird dagger thing. This is for you.
The dragon claw.
The dragon claw is for you that I saved just for you. So it's yours now.
This is one of the things in that tomb temple place we found, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Yeah, so Jesse, she hands
give her a
you
big hug.
she hands you this 10-inch long 3 dragon fingers or claws that are covered. They're basically, it's like they've been dipped in molten silver. You see a rune on it, and you sense that it's a magical item.
Supposed to protect you from dragons. I mean, we have dragons, but it's supposed to protect you from dragons. It is the only item that I thought you would like. No other items. That's the one.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Now, I know Ymra's gonna want something, so maybe while we're going, Apis, do you know anything more about this?
Know a bit about it, actually, and I can tell you it will be very useful for, anyone really, to protect you. If you need be, you can use it to protect an area. And if you find yourself facing off with dragons, which we have a tendency to do, actually, it will protect you from their breath weapons a bit more. Though I find for you it may be more effective because you're a bit more limber than others. It's very useful.
Well, thank you. Well, that's I appreciate the gift, all of you. Thank you very much. Now, shall we go and see what our friend Ymra might have in store for us?
Trail nods. As well.
Let's go.
He kind of walks out. I think Latrell walks out like 2 or 3 steps before turning out his eyes back to the cave. I think he does stand there for like just one extra long second, just like absorbing the sight of his home and everyone inside. And I think it takes him grabbing the amulet and the cloth to allow him to be able to turn back around and actually leave. And yeah, so he starts to walk towards the dragon.
Okay. And you all wave goodbye as you leave the cavern to Nerphilia and Gibran standing in their front room that has entertained you for the past 24-ish hours. Nerphilia's arm over her husband's shoulders, and they warmly wave to you and smile and wish you well on your journey. So, meeting back up with your dragons outside, you all trek down back south towards the edge of the Great Glacier to Ymra's cavern. This journey is probably about an hour and a half. Shorter if you fly, but we're going to skip through all that. We don't need to follow the traveling. It's pretty uneventful. But you find yourselves back at this familiar place, Ymra's cavern. And if you like, we can cut forward to you standing in Ymra's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, you're standing in Ymra's inner chamber of her cavern with all of these glittering items stacked behind her. As you enter the room, Ymra is smoking a pipe. She is sitting in a chaise lounge with her feet up. All 26 feet of her just look really relaxed and owning the space. And she says, "So have you brought me wondrous, wondrous things?" By the way, I'm glad to see you returned in one piece. I'm sorry, what was that?
I believe we have.
All right, and I see you brought back my Spencer. Hello, dear. Spencer says, hello, mistress. So good to see you. You look beautiful today, as always. Would you like a foot massage? And she says, you know I do, Spencer. And Spencer comes over and starts to rub her feet.
He was indispensable. We couldn't have been successful without him.
Good job, Spencer.
Spencer, you are a delight. Don't want anybody ever tell you any different.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I don't get to talk to many other people. Not that I want to. I'm happy just talking to the one person, my mistress.
Inside check.
Would you like to do an inside check?
Yes.
Sure. Go ahead.
Dirty 20.
I mean, yeah, Spencer would like to not be captive. Spencer lives a comfortable life and gets everything that he needs, but yeah, he's not free. So yeah, he says that because he has to say that. He wants to appease his mistress. But he's held captive.
Seeing this, Jesse steps forward a little and says, now, I did come across something that is very, very valuable and very, very useful. And I think you could make a lot of use of it. But we were talking about trades, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I have something that I would like to trade this for. And he will hold up the claw. But I don't know if you're going to want to trade for it.
Oh. She sits up and she pulls her feet from Spencer's grasp, puts her feet on the floor and bends forward to take a closer look at the dragon claw. Is it what I think it is? Turn it over. And you turn it to the side that has the worm rune. And she says, oh, yes, I have heard of this item. Protection against dragons.
It is quite powerful. Quite the item.
All right. What are you asking for in return for it?
Well, I would like you to give Spencer his gem back.
Spencer looks like a deer in headlights. I'm sorry, what was that? And Ymra looks at Spencer and says, what have you been filling their minds with, Spencer? And Spencer says, nothing. I haven't. I did what you asked me to do, right? Didn't I? I didn't tell you to say that, did I? I didn't tell you to say that.
No, you didn't say anything like that, but I'm a big believer in personal freedoms, personal choices. And I think you and Spencer get along really well anyway. Maybe it's time to start viewing it more as a partnership instead of an obligation.
Ymra smokes on her pipe. Spencer, I guess if I gave you your gem back, you would be free to do what you want. Even if that means you would leave me. And Spencer says, I would be free to do what I want. I'm not sure what I want. The gem belongs in my head, but you have it, And so if it were back in my head, then maybe I would know what I want for myself. And Ymra says, okay, well, listen, I've had many, many servants and attendants in my long life, and I could find another. Maybe not as good as Spencer, but fine. It's a deal.
Thank you. And he will hand the claw to her. This means a lot to me personally.
And she detaches the red gem from her necklace. She holds it in her left hand, holds out her right hand to you and the dragon claw. Do you give it to her?
Yeah.
Okay. And she holds out her left hand with the gem to Spencer. Spencer, with his arms open, his hands open, takes the gem and just, it's the most precious thing in the world to him. And in this fissure that you have seen, this kind of gross content warning for anyone. It's going to get a little gross for a second. In this fissure that you've seen like a scar in the middle of his head this whole time. It's been like, it kind of has like had little bits of not hair, but what do frogs have? Like the hairs on your arm, those like little tiny, it's not hair, but it's, you know what I'm talking about. I'll look it up later. Wait, yeah, follicles. There's a little bristles, something.
Oh.
I don't know. There's a word for it that I can't think of right now. Bumps. Maybe it's just bumps. I don't know. This frog person's head has a scar running down the middle, and he takes his fingers and, again, content warning, trigger warning, warning, warning. He gently opens that scar up again, and you can see him. Good. And then puts the gem into his brain, and closes it up again. I want to reproduce. I think I'm actually in love with Ymra a little bit, so I'm not really probably going to go anywhere for a while I figure things out, but I might need to find some other slots to reproduce with. I like to sing. I really like to sing. I haven't sung a song in a long time.
I like to sing too.
You
I'm
should
just not
sing.
really good.
You should sing something.
Yeah, you should definitely sing something.
La la la. Oh, that felt good. Cabbage. I like cabbage a lot. Yeah.
Good.
I don't
I
think
also
there's
like
a lot of
flies.
cabbages here, but that's
Yeah.
very good.
You may have to see my father for that. That's probably your best bet.
Yes. You know, when we were at your house and I saw those cabbages, there was like something, it felt like empty inside me, but I was like, there's something about those cabbages that I should feel something, but I don't. Now I know why, because I love cabbages. Oh, wow. This is amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Ymra. Thank you. I still want to rub your feet though. Is that okay? And Ymra.
Now
Ymra-
it's a consensual kind of thing, right? Which everybody is about.
Ymra says, Spencer, I had no idea you felt that way about me. And Spencer says, I didn't either. To be honest, I didn't. Yeah.
This should we go? Or
I think I would totally be fine with going right now.
do we have everything we need, or
Is wrestling about to happen?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't
Wait.
know.
yeah?
I see. A foot
Consensual
usually
wrestling, so
leads to
that's
some-
fine, I guess.
Well,
Good to know. Latrell starts to walk out. he understands now the privacy moment.
thank you, Ymra.
Thank you. This is going to be very useful. She holds up the dragon's claw. Maybe I can do some of my own exploring now, thanks to this.
I think that'll be good. And before we do leave, I just want to give you a fair warning. The Zentari have been acting up in this area.
The Zentarim.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Well, apparently they're the folks that dissented the unrest between the Frost Giants and the Storm Giants in the first place. They dissented the unrest between our Dragonkin in the first place. And they seem to be on a mission to have a bit of a war, maybe undercover war, I guess, with giant kind, maybe dragon kind as well up here. So spread the word. Don't let them get their way.
Okay, interesting. Thank you for that information. I will take that into consideration. Well, where are you all off to next?
Well, we have a meeting, I think, maybe, but we have about a day and a half, I think. So we were probably going to scout a little bit more north before then, although I don't know if we'd have time for that, to be honest, before the meeting. What do y'all think? Who's still in the cavern with me? Because I know it was like private moment.
Oh yeah, Latrell walked out. Yeah, Latrell was just like, "Oh, wrestling time." Okay, I know.
Also,
I need to leave now.
Helena walked out before Irma could find out that she still has like other stuff that she could have given, but she's like, "Nah, I'm going with this opal thing. I'm not giving you that. I'm not giving that. This is my one weapon possibly to." Do stuff. So she's just like, she stayed quiet the entire time and she's like, I'm out of here. Bye.
Okay.
I'm there still. Yeah, I think we should have this meeting as soon as possible. Probably.
All right. Well, we got options. Well, we hope to see you around again sometime, Irma. It's interesting learning from somebody who's had your experience.
I know you're saying that I'm old, but I don't think that's an insult. So thank you.
I did not mean it like that. I'm a very blunt, plain kind of person. If I wanted to say that, I would probably have just said you were old. But no, I literally meant that I enjoy your experience. So, but anyway.
Good.
What he means is you barely look over 20.
Everyone is being extremely flattering of you, and I don't disagree. I have a mild suggestion before we skedaddle.
Mm-hmm.
You seem a woman of wealth and fortune, well respected and things like that. I just think it might be easier in the future. Some people have servants that they pay with money, and they then will rub your feet for you if that's what you want, or other things. But you don't have to do surgery on their brains. It's like, it's way simpler, and then like it has less consequences, like it seems like our friend here really liked you, but he didn't know because he had brain surgery. And, you could have servants that you don't need to do brain surgery on. And then they can just tell you what they're thinking. I don't know. It's a thought that I had. You don't have to take my advice. I'm throwing it out there as a thing that you could do.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Jesse is like, that ring's working real good. Is it getting hot in here or something?
All right, let's see. Persuasion, you said. Oh, thank God. Hold on. It's still a 12.
She leans down even further, puts her elbows on her knees, and gets like pretty close to your face.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, small humanoid thing, for that advice. But I think I'm good.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep. Let's let's head north or south or good day, Emer.
All right. Well, let me know if you have any other treasures you'd like to trade. She puts her feet back up on the couch and Spencer comes over and starts rubbing them. Bye. Goodbye. Thank you for my freedom.
Bye, Spencer. Enjoy it. And we'll leave hastily.
Okay. So.
That was good.
Okay. So, outside of the cavern now, I would like for us to skip down to, you're heading towards, you have a day and a half until the Castle Perilous meetup that you were going to basically infiltrate, to show up at that meeting time. Are you going to head that direction?
Do we think we would have enough time to go north to check out the place and then head that direction? Or do we believe we only have enough time to head out to Castle?
Let's see. So, looking at the map, you're on the Great Glacier, and I believe we said Yimra was around the H on our map, like the bottom of the H.
I think so.
And the Ravara clan Storm Giants area is like above the T. So 10, 20, 30. You're about 30 miles away from that, which is not that far. And then to get to Castle Perilous, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 miles down. So you would get to Castle Perilous, like if you were to swing up, let's see, it's probably like early evening now. So if you were to go up to the back up to the Ravara clan and back down to Castle Perilous, you would be there like the night before the meetup.
Okay.
Depending on how much time you spend with the Ravaras again.
Oh, well, I think.
Wait, sorry. You were looking for a dragon place, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So add time onto what I just said too, because you would be going even further north.
All right. So yeah, probably wouldn't have enough time then to at least check it out. So yeah, if we were to do both, yeah, because if we were just to go to Ravara and then head back down, and it's like the night before the event, then yeah,
right.
we I don't can't see us be able to go past that portion to do scouting for a place. So yeah, I guess Castle Perilous would, I guess, be the best bet.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you all head down. You've been getting familiar with this part of the glacier because you've been to Yimra's, I think, 3 times now. You had Spencer guiding you to some places that you now are more familiar with. So you are able to get to the edge of the glacier, cross over that barrier, down back onto the valley of Vasa. You go, let's say you are directly south of the H, but slightly to the west towards the castle. And actually, sorry, let me back up a little bit. Are you traveling by dragon? Or yeah, okay, or flying, if those of you who have flying abilities. So okay, so you're traveling by air. As you cross over that edge of the glacier, you see Castle Perilous about about 30 miles to the east on the Vasa Plains. But then directly ahead of you, you see a large hole in the landscape, huge. Which some of you, I'll just tell you, you probably would recognize this as a mine, a gem mine. And those of you, actually, I think you also did a roll on Vasa earlier on this valley. And those of you, based on that roll, you would all probably know by now that the Vasa Valley does have some diamond and gem mines in this area that are run by dwarves. So you see one of these mines up ahead.
Okay.
So you're approaching by air, and now you're flying kind of over and past the diamond mine, and you see what looks like a lot of dwarves running around, and like you see some that are like laid out, and you can see on the snow and the ice that is on the ground on the Vasa Valley that there is blood.
Ooh.
And it just kind of looks hectic down below. You can't hear what anyone's saying, but you can see the bodies are just kind of frantic below.
Latrell will point towards Elliot, say, something looks not right down below.
And he'll look and, oh, I see. Maybe we should cautiously check it out.
He looks towards the others, Avis, Helena, and Jesse Black. Are you all okay with wanting to descend?
Help. We should try to help him if we can.
Avis will fall backwards off of Yuki and towards the ground.
As response, Helena just disappears, turns invisible, and flies, whispers to Treebush to, hey, stay safe. And then she sort of heads there on her own boots.
I will take that as a yes.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that. I believe that is a yes. Yes.
You can. She could be running away. For all you know.
You never know with Helena.
Latrell smirks, he says.
Avis jumps up a dragon and Helena disappears.
That's their response. Want to go check it out? Boom.
Everyone just Avis, you jump off of Yuki. I would say after cresting over the edge of the glacier, which is about 75 feet high, you're probably around 60 feet high now. So do you have an ability to fly or land without dying?
As he gets closer, he will cast Misty Step so we teleport safely onto the ground.
Great. All right. So you kind of I'll let you describe it or correct me if I'm wrong, but you kind of like Misty Step your way gently down to the surface. Helena, you are invisible, but you also just kind of glide down with your winged boots. And whoever else...
It would have looked super cool if she was invisible.
If you weren't invisible. Yes.
Of course, Latrell always flies in with a snow route like a 747 bomber, just like... shoo.
So much for being cautious.
No.
Is what I'm saying.
The Misty Step, you have to realize Latrell is the exact opposite of stealth. And if Avis is going to comment like that, he was like, okay, stealth was clearly out of the picture. I don't have to worry about a single thing.
But it is stealth. You draw the attention so the stealthy people can be stealthy. It works.
Well, I'm not stealthy, so. Yeah.
Okay, so you all make your way down to the surface. And yes, you hear this. Now you hear and see this pandemonium. There are dwarves that are like bloodied and bruised and out of it. Some are dead. There are dead dwarves there. Some of them are tending to the ones who are just holding on to life. And they're just like shouting directives to each other. You also see that some of them were security forces that were armed and that are now unarmed, are eliminated. Some of them are still like running down into the mine with weapons drawn. And some of them are directing, saying, go down there, just go. We need as many people as we can get. And then you see people coming back out with like giant bites taken out of their shoulders. It's like a war zone.
I'm just going to jump off and jump off Jackson when we land, just to grab the nearest person. Sorry, we see you might need some help. What the heck's going on?
There's a thing in there. There's a thing in the mine, and it's killing us all. Oh God, it's horrible. It's horrible. Oh God. This person just seems like almost shell shocked and just like, oh, I can't take it. It's the most horrible thing I've ever seen. Oh,
I like pull my cloak off of my back and like wrap it around that person and like take a breath. What did it look like?
like a thing. It had so many legs, and its face was horrible. It was so scary. Oh my God, the legs, so many legs.
Does anybody want to kill a giant spider?
Latreia nods, smirks. He says, "I'll head over."
Not a spider. It's worse. It's worse than a spider. And he shakes your shoulders. It's worse than a spider.
Okay. Does anybody want to kill something worse than a giant spider?
Latreia throws his hands up while he's talking.
I am sorry. Keep the cloak. I'm sorry. Just. Oh my goodness. Hell and I assume you're around here. We're going in.
Yes. A floating voice. Don't worry, I'm on my way.
Okay.
She's already like going into it just to explore it, just because she's invisible and she feels a little bit confident about not being seen because she's not stepping on stuff. But she's also like, ever since the snake person sort of like looked at her and saw her, she's also like not, even though she's invisible, she's carefully walking in just in case there's some other way this monster can see her. So she's sneakily doing it, even though she's invisible.
Before I leave, I'm just going to reach into my pack and just hand the man I'm taking out that bottle, a little bit of the bottle of rum that I've got, and just have a swig of that quickly. You'll be fine.
Thank you. You see his rum spilling down his face. He gets a little bit in, but
you know what? You can keep that. I'm sure I can buy more.
Hey,
we're gonna go kill something.
Thank you.
Avis is already inside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it
I'm
dark?
headed there.
Yeah, Latreia just.
Yeah, how dark is it?
So, outside, you mean?
Inside. We're going
inside.
into the cave, yeah.
So yeah, it's about dusk. It's about dusk outside right now. But as you descend down into the mine, yes, it is dark, but there are some torches that are like on sconces on the walls that have been like drilled in. So you all descend down into the cave, and once again, you see dwarf miners just coming and going. Some are running into battle, and some have come out. It's basically like a path of dead miners leading back to the entrance of the mine. You pass them all, and you enter down into the mine. First thing you see, besides the pandemonium of the miners, you see carts of ore. So just like, it looks like rocks, giant. Some are like boulder size, some are smaller, about the size of like your head or your fist maybe. You see these carts on rails lined on either side of the entryway. Normally these would be moving the ore, but everything has shut down at this point because of what's going on. And as you follow down this path, you see that it turns to the right, and you can hear more pandemonium from that direction.
Why do they keep going in?
Must be something inside that they're trying to save. But is it worth all of this?
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Are there any signs in this area, particularly of anything that looks, I don't know, as if it's left tracks of lots of legs or anything like that?
Go ahead and make a investigation check.
Okay. $11.
Okay. You just see the tracks of the miners in this area.
guess must be deeper in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Latrea's already heading forward, so he's just like, the minute he hear the pandemonium, he's like, okay, at least he has a direction to where to head to, so he's off.
And Helena is like floating behind Latrea, using Latrea as a shield.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it. That's his job. The beat shield.
Helena, are you still invisible?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So you all process down this pathway towards the pandemonium, and you take this winding pathway. It winds to the right. And as you turn this corner, you all see a horrendous creature at the end of this pathway. It is cornered by many miners, but it is taking them out, just even in front of your eyes, taking bites out of them left and right, thrashing it with its tail. And I'm going to get a picture up of it. This is what you see.
Ooh.
Let me move my mic. Oh, you can't see the legs.
Oh, you can't see.
I'll send you the picture too. I'll send you the picture in chat.
Oh. Okay.
And
So how big is it? It looks pretty big.
it is large,
Okay.
large in size. Sorry, it's huge actually.
Oh, okay. So it's definitely big.
huge size. And it has probably like 20 sets of legs that are kind of centipede-like legs. And it's just, it has these like, not wings, but these crests coming off of its back with spiny. And it's like jabbing people with it is causing so much destruction. It's unbelievable. Let me give you this picture so you can see the full scope. If anyone would like to roll to see if your character would know what this is, you can go ahead and roll nature.
I would roll nature.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I do not care. I will cock my bow instead.
Great. All right.
I rolled a 20, just so you know.
You know exactly what this is, Helena. It's a remoraz.
23.
You also know exactly what it is.
I got a 5, but I would
okay.
like to pop my wings out if that's all possible.
Oh yeah. So out of 14, but I think Latrea's going to, of course, bang his chest, kind of cock his neck to side after he prepares, and essentially uses his giant might to kind of like, of course, turn into his large form. And he's just going to roar like an animalistic challenge of territorial dispute to the creature to kind of like distract him from the miners and hopefully get his attention to try to attack him instead.
Okay.
As I know exactly what this is, I shout, "Don't touch it." So I say, just don't touch it. So,
Okay, great. At that shout, the first shout, Latrea's shout, the creature then notices you and just and now we all are going to roll initiative.
Here we go.
Yeah. But initiative.
it's another 20.
Dude, that's 20s in a row. Woo!
I know. I'm so happy.
Woo!
23 for
So
Avis.
It's 24 plus my 4 initiative. So.
Okay, who had above 20? Oop. Get my pencil. Okay, Avis, what did you have, Avis?
23.
And then Helena, you had 24?
Yep.
All right, so Helena. And then Avis. All right, who had 15 and up?
20.
Okay.
So not above a 20, but exactly a 20.
All right.
19 for Elliot.
All right, Elliot. 19. 19. And then Jesse.
14.
All right, you all rolled really pretty dang good on this initiative. And then our little friend, our big friend, goes there. Okay, so Latrea, I believe the actions, I will give you these as surprise actions. Latrea, you grew larger.
Mhm.
And Elliot, you cocked your bow. Okay. Helena, you are first in the initiative. What would you like to do?
Cool. So what I'm going to do is I am going to probably set it on fire with my fire stone. Let's see what that damage is. So I'm gonna use one of my actions to just. Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot it with my arrow, cock an arrow and shoot at it.
Okay.
Since it's a surprise, is it a surprise attack for me or no? It's not,
No.
right?
No.
Okay, so just a normal attack.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a 14 to hit. No.
That does not hit.
So that's my turn, I guess.
Okay. And Avis.
It was, we'll look at the creature, partially relieved that it is not related to what he thought it was, and we'll look at it and go, it was such a vile creature. And we'll use, what is it, cutting words? No, not cutting words.
Mockery?
The other one, no. I can't remember what it is. The one where it has to roll my dice, unsettling word, and it has to subtract the D8 from my from the next save it makes. So
Okay.
and that is it. Do you want to roll it or do you want me to roll it?
You can go ahead.
All right, so that's to subtract the 2. And then I would like to cast Rotham's Psychic Lance.
That
So it
combo.
must- So it must make a intelligence saving throw.
Okay. Great. And it got a 7.
That will fail. So it will take a total of 35 psychic damage, and it is incapacitated to the start of my next turn.
Okay. It takes this jolt of psychic damage from you, and it just like, you see it kind of like the whole body just like wiggles, and it just throws up like 5 minors.
You all need to fall back right away. We will handle this, but you all need to leave.
Yeah, the miners, seeing you all in the back, this giant that has grown in size, not an Astamar, sorry, you're human, right, Elliot? Sorry, brain. Yeah, a human who was like,
Sorry, I'm a changeling, but yeah.
You're a changeling, sorry, yes, but humanoid looking, with like the bow drawn. You all look pretty badass. They look over and they're like, okay, and they just like all run out. The ones that can run. Some of them are prone. Some have just been regurgitated back up, and they're going to try to move on their the next time they can. But yes, the place is emptying of dwarven miners, and now it's just you, mostly, and this beast. Okay, Avis, is that your turn?
My turn.
All right, Latreyu is up next.
So Latrell like looks at the individuals who dropped. So then, of course, as usual, that bear totem, that bear emblem just starts to spread across his chest, starting from the top all the way down. And you just hear an animalistic roar coming from his chest, and just sparks of little green ethereal energy appearing from around his body as he essentially initiates a rage as a bonus action to rush forward, giving himself, of course, resistant to all different types of damage. And then as he does, he just rushes forward, brings out his brand new giant axe, and he says, I'm going to show you what giants could do. And it boom comes down twice with his axes. To attack twice. He's going to go reckless, so that's going to give him advantage on the attacks. But the creature will have. Well, no, I don't need to because he's incapacitated, right? So I always
He's incapacitated.
I already get. Does it incapacitated gets it? Oh, never mind. Does it get some disadvantage for dexterity saving throws, or is it
Yep, they just can't take actions or reactions.
actions or
Right.
reactions? Gotcha. Okay. All right. So we're going to hit once. So the first roll was a natural 20.
Okay.
Yes. So this is about to be glorious. Yes. Okay. So let's go ahead and just start bringing out all the dice in place. Okay. So that is, and you do double the dice, correct?
Sorry?
For your crit damage, you do double the dice, or is it double the damage roll from one set of dice?
Oh, I haven't. I don't know. We haven't done this before.
Yeah, there's like normally like different rules. Like some people will just have you roll double the dice amount. Some folks will say roll the dice amount and then double
And then
it.
double it. I see
Yeah,
what
and
you mean.
the other folks will say you do max damage for the first amount and then you roll double the dice, so you guarantee to get some damage in case your crit was bad. There's multiple different ways of running it.
Okay, let's double the damage that you roll.
Double the damage that I roll. Okay. Gotcha. So, all right. And then I'm going, and then I get 6. And then, okay. Here we go. Okay. So that is 8. 11 plus 8 is 19. 19 plus 3 is 21. No, 22. 32. 30. No. 28. What's 28 times 2? 56.
60 minus 4. Yeah,
Yeah,
56.
Yeah, so 56 points of damage for the first hit. Oh no, sorry, that didn't even count. That didn't even count for my strength bonus. That would be 6. 56 plus 8.
Okay.
64.
64.
Yeah, 64. Yep, 64 points. Woo. Okay, yep.
All right.
So 64 points of damage for the first hit.
Okay.
Oh, thank God I have advantage. This dice is weird because that was a natural 20, then a natural 1. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. Much better. 60. Yes, that's a 26. So I'm pretty sure that would hit. And that is just by standard 3, 12. Okay. 11. 24? 24 plus 10. 34 points of damage for the second hit.
Okay. On these 2 giant blasts of force, what are you hitting it with, by the way?
Oh, the axe, the brand new axe.
You smash your axe. Well, actually, where would you like to smash your axe?
Oh, so he's going to bring out the axe across the side of the chest, where I'm guessing the midsection is, and then he's going to bring it up top, and then just cleave it right across the side of his cheek, and then just drag the axe out.
Okay. That first hit, the 56 damage, gashes into its midsection. It starts squirting this like very disgusting looking color of blood. It's like green and purple blood. And you hear it like a high pitched squeal. It also loses a couple of limbs. That second hit also gashes it in its face. And it's both times it gets hit, it regurgitates several more miners. Okay, that's your turn, Latreya.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, Elliot.
Okay. I will bonus action Hunter's Mark on the creature. I kind of just like squint one eye and focus intently on it. And I am going to strike with my longbow. Please, hopefully. That is an unnatural 20.
Okay.
4.
That hits, yeah.
7. For 11 damage.
All right.
Total.
Sorry, I just realized, Latreya, what were your hit rolls?
Oh.
I'm assuming you hit because
Yeah. So the first roll was a natural 20. I have a plus in a hit, so that'd be a 30. And the second one was I rolled a 16, so it'd be a 26.
You're good. Okay. I just realized I was like, I actually didn't hear that. But go ahead.
No worries.
Go ahead, Elliot. Sorry.
Not to worry. So I will do that, and then I am actually going to run in a bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
Not within hand-to-hand combat range of it, but I want to get within 30 feet of it.
Okay.
And then that's where I'll stay.
All right. Catching up on math. There we are. Great. Okay. Jesse. That's your turn, Elliot. And Jesse, you're up next.
All right. So I popped out the wings, and I am actually going to use my my action to. You'll see that the sort of spectral wings that Jesse has on his back, they start glowing with this very radiant blue kind of color, and his eyes sort of start crackling with this sort of stormy blue radiant energy as I'm activating my radiant soul. And then I'm going to fly within 30 feet of the thing, and I'm going to use a key point to take patient defense, which would mean that it has a disadvantage to hit me. And that's my turn.
Okay, cool. So disadvantage to hit you, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. How long does that incapacitated last? Was there a time limit on that, or is it just
It's my turn.
till your turn? Okay, cool. So being incapacitated, the Ramirez just literally just cannot do any actions or reactions, but it can move, and so it starts to turn its body, and you see that even though it's been cornered, there is a hole in the ground that seems to have been burrowed by this creature itself, and it starts to head down into that hole. It is not able to move very fast, so it is not entirely in the hole by the end of its turn, but that's where it moves to. And that's its turn. Helena, you're up next.
Oh, cool. So I'm gonna roll to hit with my my short bow. It is 17
That
to
hits.
hit. Okay, sweet. So since Latreia was near, I can do my sneak attack, right? Right?
Yeah. As long as the ally is next to it, you can do sneak attack damage, which would be me because the trail's always next to it.
Sweet. Let me just make sure I have the right amount of dice, because that's a lot of dice. Just grab some dice here. Give me a minute to add that. So technically, it's 5d6 to my already 1d6 damage.
Mhm.
One moment. I like to roll with all my dice.
Mhm.
Been ready.
It's all right.
Cool. That's 2 5s, 2 6s, 4. I hate math. 10, 12. That's 22, right?
Mhm.
And a 4, 26 for damage.
All right.
Sweet. And can I use a bonus action? I don't know if it's fast enough to put on a cloak, my cloak of displacement, where suddenly you see Helena just on the near on the other side of maybe 5-10 feet on the other side of her, but it's not actually her. It's just an illusion of her.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is not invisible. Basically, everybody sees her pop up, but
Yeah.
it's just her.
Yeah, you can do that as your
Bonus action.
Yeah.
Okay. So after basically an arrow from out of nowhere just hits this creature, suddenly Helena pops up nowhere near where the arrow would have been, and just sort of just flies there, and you can see her there, just standing, flying there, looking at the creature.
Okay. How close to the creature are you? Just out of curiosity.
I am, I guess, flying maybe 15 feet away from it,
Okay.
if I can. And then the creature is the illusion is 10 feet away from me, but in a straight line, sort of, so that still 15 feet away from the creature, but on the other side of where Helena actually is.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, and is that your turn?
Yep, that is my turn.
All right, Avis, you're up.
Do the people look in trouble at the moment?
Oh, let's see. So they. Yeah, there are about 7. Let's see. It regurgitated 3 times, an average of about 5 miners each time. So there were 15. 7 of them have gotten up and run. 8 of them are still prone.
But none of them look like immediately like dying at the moment, right?
Right. Yeah. They some of them have clearly taken acid damage because they are covered in the guts, the goo of the Remoraz's stomach. But they look like they're just kind of out of it.
Cast Roll them from Lance.
Although you can't really tell unless you actually like go up and see if they're breathing. Probably. Sorry, what was that?
Go ahead and cast Roll them Psychic Glance.
Okay. And is it intelligence saving throw? Yeah. Okay. Oh, natural 1.
It takes 37 psychic damage and is incapacitated again.
Okay, so the Remoraz has its like tail and body sticking out of this hole. It's been trying to escape. You cast this psychic damage and you see it convulse, and you can tell it's regurgitating again, but now the people it's regurgitating are going back down into that hole, and all of a sudden it just stops and goes limp. And you are out of combat.
Dead.
Yes.
Dead. DED dead.
That
All right,
wasn't so bad.
everyone, bring me the wounded, please, as quickly as possible.
Latreia will essentially try to drag the creature out of the hole that it's trying to crawl in, because he could assume that there was some individuals that got spit out there. So he's just pretty much grabs it by his tail and is just drag it out of his hole to see what me.
I'll help with that. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Both of you can do like an athletics check. Let's see. This thing is huge.
Oh, yeah.
But you're strong. You're strong.
14.
14.
I get advantage because I'm raging. All right. Okay. Yeah. This is going to be 17 plus 11. Yeah, 17 plus 11 is 28.
Oh, great. Okay, yes. Latreia, you are able to like lift the body out and start pulling it. Elliot, you do help by like grabbing the legs and some of those gross, the tail and some of the gross legs, and just like giving that extra bit of pull. And you two are able to lift this thing out of the hole. And sure enough, you do see several bodies down into the tunnel that it was escaping into.
I would like to actually continue flying into that tunnel to see how far it goes. See if there's anything else to worry about.
Okay. Yeah, you go ahead and fly down into the hole. You pass the prone miners. Yeah, you just keep going. How far would you like to go?
I want to actually be on the lookout for like a point of origin of this thing. Like, where did they dig into that it came out of? Or did it tunnel in through somewhere? That's particularly what I'm looking for.
Okay. Well, let me actually go ahead and do an investigation check.
Okay. Could I make a case for perception?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Much better. 26.
Okay. So based on the size and the nature of this tunnel, you can see that it wasn't a tunnel. It doesn't have the same like surface texture as whatever the miners used to carve out their mine. You get the strong sense also based on the size of this tunnel that it was burrowed through by this Remoraz creature. So that's the first thing you notice. And then the second thing is like you keep flying down into the hole and you all of a sudden start to come back up. You go pretty far. I'm guessing, how far could you go with those? What's your speed with flying?
My speed is 45 feet.
Okay. Yeah, you can go pretty far with this. The tunnel has dipped down from the way you're coming at it from, but then it starts to dip back up and then you start to see daylight. And you get the sense that you've gone pretty far.
Okay, so it came in from outside.
Yeah, that's the sense that you get.
Once I see that, I'll return to everybody else.
Okay.
Helena does not take off her cloak. So there's this visible version of her just like doing what she's doing. But like, so she's basically like sort of like looking around, seeing if there's anything that, you know, pops out at her, whether gold or weapon. Basically, that's just what she's doing right now. But people can see her like mirrored version doing the same thing, but not actually picking up anything. So that's basically what's happening right now.
Okay.
So she's doing that. May I do a perception roll?
Who does?
Can I do a perception
Oh,
roll
yes.
to
Go
see?
ahead. Yeah.
It's a 14 plus. Where's my perception? So that's a 15 for perception.
Okay. And what are you looking for exactly?
Gold, weapon, anything that might be interesting in this cave.
So you see the axes. It's mostly axes that the miners have dropped. The ones who fell in battle, the ones who ran away when you all came. So it's mostly like axes scattered around. You don't see any gold or anything. This is a diamond mine, and this is where they're excavating the ore. So you don't see any like polished diamonds or anything like that here.
Okay. So disappointedly, she just sort of like stands up and she's like, I guess we're done here. I'm gonna go out, and then just sort of walks away. But you can see like how weird the mirror image of her is. So she's like walking, but like the mirror image is hitting walls, but you know, so that's what's happening.
Okay. So Latreia and Elliot, after you pull let's say after Jesse has flown down, before he comes back, would anyone like to bring out the miners that were regurgitated into that tunnel?
Yes.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
was
I
the
thought
goal.
you maybe had said that. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So you go ahead and you scoop them up and you're able to bring them back up. Avis, they bring you the wounded as you requested.
Casting magic. I will cast mass healing word to save as many people as possible. I could do that 3 times, and that would let me target 18 total people.
Oh, great. Yeah. That's everyone in the room. That it's a little bit less than 18 probably. Yeah.
All right, so then they would all regain 8 hit points.
Okay. Some of them still look pretty out of it, but they all are breathing and alive. Some of them are able to speak, and you see like the acid burns on their faces and their bodies through their like outer clothing. There are burned holes, and they just kind of tend to each other. And one of them says, "Thank you." Oh, thank you. You start to see some more miners running back down the hole, having heard like no more screams from the Remoraz, no more screams from other miners. They're running down. They're like, "Oh, are you okay?" And they start to help all the rest of them. And go ahead.
I was gonna Latrell is gonna look over towards Elliot and be, do you know if this type of creature is just solo, or could there be more?
And I actually I wanted to lean down next to it and kind of investigate it anyway to see if there are any parts of this we should maybe take with us. So could I give a nature roll and sort of investigate the creature?
Sure.
That's an unnatural 20.
Okay, and are you just looking at it to investigate it?
I expect I have like a dagger. I might like cut it open in places and take a look.
Okay, I think because it's dead, you should be fine. And I will just rule that today. If it were alive, then that would be an issue for you.
Yes.
But it's dead, so you're fine. And what was your roll? Oh,
unnatural 20.
Okay. You inspect this thing, and I mean, the spines are pretty sharp. And depending on how crafty you are, you know that some people on the continent of Faerun have used these to make weapons, to make different types of items, and they could have some value.
Do I know anything about this creature itself and whether or not it's a pack animal?
Is it edible?
I mean, anything's edible, right? Except what, hair? Isn't that the only thing that's not edible?
Anything is edible at least once.
At least once. At least once.
Yeah.
He might try it twice. Maybe.
Yeah. What I will tell you is that you do know that they usually it can be kind of a mix. They can sometimes like wander off from a pack, but they're probably mostly like solo travelers. They obviously do raise their young together, but then when it comes to hunting, they can be very solitary, kind of like lions would be. Lions and tigers are kind of like that. They have their pack, but then they can hunt solo or hunt in groups. Yeah, this one, and also Jesse, I'll say this, you had a really great perception roll in the tunnel. You don't see signs of like a second Murmuraz around here.
Latreia, I think it's just this one. But the miners suffered a bit. They could probably get some valuable items from this creature. I don't think it would make any weapons better than our own, but maybe they could sell them for materials and things.
I was just the weapons. He kind of pats his axe. He says, "I don't think anything more than this treasure beauty here." It was more on the concern that others are returning in, and the coast may not be clear. Especially as you know, living in the forest, many animals are pack related, and I wasn't sure if this was just one of many we may have to be concerned about. So, but it seems like this creature is the only one that seems to have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're okay.
He nods. I think from there, that's when he kind of like puts the axe back on his back, and then he just streaks back down to his normal 9'5" self. Still a big boy, but definitely doesn't have to be 17 feet version. He kind of makes his way over to the dwarves that seems to be essentially tending to their wounds. He kind of looks at his scarf again a bit, his amulet, and then is going to try to talk in common. Is everyone okay?
One of the miners who had come down after the fight finished looks and says, I mean, besides the ones that are dead, yeah. I mean, the rest of us have our lives, so that's good enough. We're going to have to patch up that hole. Man, those things are terrible. But I have some ideas of how to protect this place better. Thank you. Whoever you are, thank you.
He nods.
You're welcome. We should have a name.
I'm Latreia.
I understand, but it's not bad. They asked who we are. Perhaps we should have a name for who we are.
I'm confused.
Group.
You mean oh, you got
Like a boy band.
Yes, exactly. What is that, Elena?
It's a group of boys. That
Just any
band
group of
together-
boys?
that band together and fight. You know, it's
Like
a boy
how
band.
how a group
but
of
the-
crows is called a murder?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like a boy band, but because we're not all boys, we will be. We'll come up with a different name. It's
Yeah.
just like an adventurer's band sort
Yes.
of situation. It's
Yes,
just the
exactly.
first
Would it be
thing.
safe to say that I've come back from the tunnel by now? Or
Oh yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
you've come back.
You heard me say like a boy
yeah.
band.
Yeah.
You mean
And-
like bandits or something?
Jesse, what would a cool name for us as a group be? I feel like you'd be good at this.
It's definitely got to have the name Dragon in there somewhere because, I mean,
Yeah, we are very dragon centric.
we'll have to
Gigantic dragons.
workshop it, I think. I don't know. Something dragons or dragons something.
So you all have been exiting the mine during this conversation, and once you get back up to the top, nightfall has arrived, and under the starlight, under the moonlight, to the east, while you're having this conversation, you all look and see the dark gleam of Castle Perilous ahead of you. And with that, we will end our session.
Woo!
all right. This feels so good to be back. Once again, thank you all. Thank you all for coming by and watching this stream. Thanks again, Elisa, for bringing in this wonderful story. Of course, this is fantastic cast. Once again, if you would like to join us in our Discord, actually, I think the link is in chat. You can also join us at our Patreon, where we're actually after this going to film an after show to kind of discuss about the events located here. Funny enough, the song that's currently playing right now is Dragon King. Oh, you know what? I know. I was like, interesting. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and film this after show, and we look forward to see you all next week for episode 11. Farewell for now.
E